Hey guys, this is Rick. I'm gonna just making a video to show my guild for the Mara 340 plus pull. We just bear about 340. People call it 340. You can get anywhere from like 340 to 365 ish. First things first, though, you want to go as fast as possible. So make sure when you're resetting, you reset and you just run. As soon as you reset, you run straight for the portal room and go back in. Let your boosties finish looting whatever you're doing. Um, and just book it as soon as you get in. Book it. And real quick before we start this, I do want to say that Kill Tracker is a really big weak aura to have. You can see your total mobs. You can see each mob named individually, and then how many of each mob. So the big number here is Noxious Slimes, 27. This slimes are here. The reason that a lot of people are only selling like 310 or 320, because those are resetting on them. And so I'm making this just to show you can get 27 slimes. If you're getting issues with them resetting, I'm going to show that in the poll. I'm not going to explain it too much, but you'll see it. So here we go. I'm going to hit the reset here so we can start fresh again. You'll see this pack normally coming down from the top, the elementals. These guys up here. And if they're already on the bridge when you get here, you're probably going to miss them in the poll. But if they're coming down from the top, you should have the correct timing here to get those. And there is a way to get these every time if you pull them early. If you pull them like right now and then hang out right here for like 2 minutes and do that whole thing. Oh, jumped off. Low health. Definitely blink there. Definitely blink there. We're also not going to pull the Hydra in the water over there or the Hydra below the bridge here, just to save time, energy, mana, etc. But we are moving quickly here. I'm going to actually take the moment to bandage because these two, normally this Guardian's up there, so I got here a little early. Didn't want to run into them prematurely. So first things first, you want a barrier. You want to get your barrier up and running. Get your mana regen going. Pause the video. There's my talents if you want talents, but pretty standard for this pull. And we're going to pull the Hydra. Frost Nova these, wand these, and blink ahead. Pretty much all the elemental packs in here, I like to Frost Nova or slow them in some way. So just keep that in mind as we go through the pull. I try to time my Frost Novas with the elemental packs. So we're going to go through here. We have about 5 seconds on our blink, and we're going to, again, Frost Nova that pack and blink. And without Zanza from ZG, you do have to blink a lot in this pull to stay ahead of the Hydras. So just keep that in mind again. Pull those. Redo our barrier here. Blink across this big gap. You can pull him with a Fire Nova or Fire Blast or Wand, depending on how much time you have. And then we're going to blink across this gap here. Lots of room. Come up and wand this dinosaur. Again, Frost Nova is my favorite thing for elementals, so I like to save it for the elemental packs. You can come across those at various points in the dungeon. Generally, it's in that general area right near before or after that dinosaur pack. And right here, the last chance to get a greater mana off, so use it if you need to. I like to just stack a bunch of cheap greater manas with me. You don't need too much more than that for this pull. We're going to run straight through this to the far side. Again, favorite thing to do, Frost Nova, and then blink before they silence you. And the reason that's the last greater mana you can use is we're either going to be using a nifty stopwatch in this pull or a swiftness potion. I don't have my stopwatch on, so it's definitely going to be a swiftness potion. So we're going to pull those last ones, put barrier up. You'll see this is the Guardian pack that came down from the top. So we're going to wand this dinosaur, run past this Guardian pack, and once again hit it with a Frost Nova. And then we're going to look left here, and we're looking for this other Guardian pack we're definitely not going to get it. So we're going to just pull those dinosaurs. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I counterspelled the dinosaurs. I tried to get a grenade deep on that pack. Sometimes they're in range and you can get a grenade on that pack. But if you can't, it's no big deal. If you do get that pack, that's how you get 360 plus. It just depends a lot on getting all the mobs together, but also the spawn rates of some of the mobs. We're gonna run through those Frost Nova. Hit these guys with a Cone of Cold. Slow them down. Generally, you can't. It's really hard to get the elemental pack that comes from the princess ramp. You can get it if you wait around, but then if you're waiting around, you're not getting any experience per hour, so you're just going downhill. And everything else should social here. Pull some Hydras. I like to run wide here, and the reason is I like to group mobs really well. You're probably only going to get three pulls per hour anyways. Your boosties aren't going to loot that quickly. You're not going to loot that quickly by yourself. So I like, staying in that under 20 minutes. The pull itself is like 16 and a half or 17. And I did just do a little extra dangerous thing there. But we have a swiftness potion. Pulling the extra Hydra just to get the mob. I'm going to use Robe of the Archmage here. Get some mana back. Pull that inside the rock barrier. And run up here, pull these with Arcane Explosion. Gonna blink there. And we're gonna look down and pull with Counterspell underneath. As you jump across the corner, it's a pretty common pull in a lot of the videos. And then blink across, grab all those packs together. At the end of this, if we did this correctly, we should have around 100 deep borers, these snakes right here. If we do not, it's one of two things. Either the spawn of the packs, sometimes you can get 5, sometimes you can get 6. Some packs have 7, but it can vary from pull to pull. So you might get 103 one time and maybe 98 the next time, something like that. They're non-elites. They're not that as important as the slimes. Or it could be that the pack that's underneath the bridge reset. Sometimes they will run really slow and they reset on you. But if it's just one non-elite pack, it's not a big deal. So then we're going to drop a blizzard back here. And try to catch all of the Hydras. And then blink ahead once the snake gets there. And right here, I normally use like a mana ruby or some form of mana. I like to save my potions for this, so I could use another mana potion to go up, but I don't need it because I'm going to evocate after this whole phase here. But I like to save it just in case I miss something here and I need a health pot. I have it available. So counterspell that into this pack of slimes and then blink as soon as it's up again. Hydras are coming. I suggest not looking behind you. And then you can do a Frostbolt. You can do this as a Frostbolt or an Arcane Explosion, depending on your timing. And then hit these guys with Cone of Cold. A couple Arcane Explosions. Hit this guy with a Fire Blast. Run up here. And then blink past the Sisters here to the left. You don't want to pull them. And I missed this slime, but you have time to counterspell him if you miss him. And then throw a grenade here. Arcane Explosion the rest. You're going to take some damage here, just a little bit. Those slimes right there don't matter, but that sludge does. So right here, the Fire Blast immediately on the first sludge. If you're dropping slimes, if you're having slimes reset, that is, come back and watch this section, because that is probably the reason you're not doing something right with these sludges. And then we run through, and we're going to counterspell immediately on the second sludge, the middle one. this guy with an arcane explosion. Fire blast immediately on this sludge right here. Arcane explosion. Frost Nova. Blink through. I like to grab this back trickster pack with a wand. This guy with explosion jump off, and that's when I apply my dampen magic. You don't need dampen magic on the first half of this, and the pull is longer than 10 minutes, so you're going to have to apply it anyways, so you might as well just save it for right when you jump down. And we're going to bandage there a little bit. Throw a blizzard on the corner. If anything gets through that's larger than a snake, just stop your blizzard and then hit it down low in the middle right here. But we do have a good grouping here, so we're just going to drop this right here. Let everything, just trust your blizzard. Everything is going to get slowed. If a couple mobs sneak through like those guys, don't worry about it. If it's bigger than an elemental or a snake, you have to worry. You have to jump. If it's a Hydra, for instance, that guy looks really close. You can use a Frost Nova back there if they're very close, but we should be fine here. Arcane Explosion, Cone of Cold, blink across. Frost Nova, run this edge. Reapply barrier. 77 and 74. We're not looking bad on our vitals here. Drop down. And there can be a stealth mob right here somewhere. So just if you see him, just pull him in with Arcane Explosion. Here he is. He's right here. So we're going to hit all of these mobs with a Frost Nova. Blink through. Let that tree go because he's just going to social with those anyways. Rank 1 Frostbolt, Counterspell, Fire Blast, the 3 packs back here. You can skip this room if you're like far behind, if you like mess something up completely. There's only 6 mobs in that room, so you can absolutely skip it if you need to. Reapply barrier shields before this pack. Frost Nova here. Run off this edge, and everything's coming. You want to target, you want to keep this mob. Right here, we're going to drop a blizzard on the root up there. And then what that's going to do is take the front mobs and just jam them right back into the guys that are lagging behind. And they're just going to group them back up again. We're going to pull that mob with a wand, wait for him. Hit him with another like fire blast there. He likes to reset, so I like to hit him multiple times with spells. Frost Nova that pack right there, blink through, and then reapply barriers underneath the bridge here. And if you have like Archmage, you can use it again. Wand pull that. Find the Satyr up here. He's on this side, so blink across this gap and wand him too. If he was on the other side, you could counterspell him while you blink across the gap. So that's how you would pull the difference there. Sometimes he spawns on the other side. Run over. I like to just kind of hang out in this corner, wait for these mobs to show up. They gouge you, they do whatever, they hurt you a little bit. Take your barriers off, reapply them. Run here, and you're just going to drop like a 3 count. 1, 2, 3, and then drop another one on the corner here. As long as the Hydras aren't in front, you're fine. You can take a lot of damage here, get them all grouped up. You can see this guy did not pull. He will pull, though, eventually. And we're taking some damage here. That's fine. Wait for these guys to cross the bridge. And what we're going to do is reapply a barrier. You don't need your mana shield anymore, so you can ditch your mana shield. Come over here, wand this tree. He's going to run around the corner and get in the pack while the other ones start coming. Bandage up and drop a blizzard on the front pack as soon as they get here. Move a couple steps, drop another blizzard, just kind of walking them a little bit. Wait for the Hydras to end up in the blizzard. Hit this guy with a counterspell or a fire blast. You want to pull this corner. Your barrier's still up. You're fine. This guy's invisible. You're going to pull him with these. Come to the corner and blink, and you'll see I'm going to have a really tight group of mobs here, which is really good. And then Mage Armor. Switch to Mage Armor before this jump, so if anything does touch you, it doesn't slow down. Jump off. Let everything kind of cast on you. Get the resistance. Get the mana back up. As close to 100 as you can. Now we're going to ice block everything off. Barrier up. And throw a nature protection pot. So we have an ice barrier, mana shield, nature protection before going through the tunnel. Just for like the timing of things. We still have a mana gem if we need it. And we got a little bit like 2 minutes on the road with the Archmage if we need more mana. Blink across this gap and get in the spot. Ready check if you got boosties. I like to let the first sprites go here, like the first 1 or 2. So let these guys go. That looks like 3. No big deal. They're going to be our mana batteries here. And I'm going to move wide left. Moving wide left here so that all the ones at the bottom run up the hill. And that guy got through. So we're jumping down. And we're going to cast on the bottom here. We're going to get everything to go back through. And when we jump back up, I'm going to barrier right now as I go back up. And I'm going to drop my blizzard on the big pack of sprites that ran up the hill. So we're going to kill all but 4 sprites here in 3 total blizzards. 2 to 3 total blizzards. And I like to do 1 up and 1 down. So 1 blizzard completely up, 1 blizzard completely down. And what that's going to do is keep these hydras away from you. If they come all the way up this hill, they can run at you on this close post. But as long as you don't let them further up the hill, you can use the close post right here. You don't have to be over here, and you definitely don't have to be down low here in the middle. And we're just going 1 up, 1 down. These little guys are giving us mana. And we're just going to keep going 1 up, 1 down. The kill phase is really short here as long as you have a good grouping. Get these hydras down. You'll see the deep borer on the right side, the kill tracker up here. You're going to see 98. Again, the max is like 103. It just depends on the spawn. So we got all of them. You average about 100. And we'll kill these shardlings. We'll kill these poison bolt guys. And we're at 345 minus 1 critter snake. 344 is the total. And we'll see down here in the chat, 38,000. You get about 38 to 40 depending on whose levels what. Just over 17 minutes. You can go a little quicker than that if you don't do some of the grouping. But you're out the door in 20 with loot as long as everyone's looting. You got 27 slimes. You're getting about 40k per person. 27 slimes. The only way we get more mobs here, the only way is if we pull the elemental pack near the princess. You can get some of those. That would boost it up to maybe like 355, another 10 mobs or so, depending on how many guys like split apart. And then you can have like 7 more borers. I think the max you can get is like 105, depending on spawns. So you can get right up to like the 363, 365 area in about 17 minutes. You can go quicker, of course. I like to group them. Most of the time, it just depends on your boosties. If they understand how looting quickly will get them more runs, or if they're just lollygagging it. So enjoy the spoils of war. Again, here's the gear real quick. Just mana per 5 and raw stats, honestly. Biggest pieces here, nifty stopwatch. Every 30 minutes, you can alternate that with a swiftness potion. Cost you about a gold, but whatever. And then, yeah, and here's the talents one more time. Hope you guys enjoy the video, enjoy the poll. Anywhere about an average of about 350 mobs over like maybe like 10 pulls. You're going to go low, you're going to go high, but generally speaking, if you get all the mobs that I just showed in the video, you'll go over 340 every time, and you'll go between about 340 and 365.